Hiya folks, Nathan here, hope you're all well and welcome back to my channel. And today we have yet another unboxing video to do today. And you've already guessed it, another bus. Yes, I know, you're probably thinking, what is coming over, Nathan? What is this all of a sudden with all these buses? Well, that's the latest thing for me. I've collected model aircraft. So now I want to collect a few model buses. And this one is, oh gosh, I've got a place in my heart for these buses because not only did I always used to travel on them when I was growing up, but my dad used to drive them as well. The number 26 from Bromford Estate to City Centre via Alum Rock and Duddeston. 9 times out of 10 they used to be operated by a single decker, but a lot of the time they were operated by these beautiful things. So you're probably wondering, well, what is it? Well, this is a MCM Metrobus. Possibly one of the most beautiful sounding buses you could ever listen to. Oh, absolutely beautiful buses. I absolutely loved the engine sounds on these, and according to my dad, they were quite pleasant to drive as well. So this is Travel West Midlands. You can see there. This is what I call the retro livery. This was the livery that I was used to when I was a kid. I can't remember how old I was when it first changed. About 9, 10, I think, when the newer liveries started, when the liveries started to change. But this was the livery that I was used to growing up, and in my opinion, it really was a beautiful livery. But let's not dwell on that just now. Let's get the bus out of the box first before we have a close-up look at her. So I would just like to give a quick shout out yet again to my good friend Dean McFadden. Excuse me. Dean McFadden managed to source this bus for me. And if ever you want to check him out on eBay, his eBay name is Tui.737. He sells quite an array of items, but mostly buses. So a big thanks to Dean for being able to source this for me. I know it was a friend of his actually that gave him this particular bus, and he asked if he could sell it, and obviously I was looking to get one. So he gave me first refusal. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll have it. So here we are. So let's get the beautiful girl out of the box. Being careful, I will add. If you haven't seen my last video when I did the Gemini eclipse, you'll notice that I tried to twist the plinth that the bus was on because it was a bit loose. I ended up snapping off the front wheels, but I managed to fix it. So I don't want this happening with this, because this bus apparently is 30 years old. And look at that, I just bloody drop it, don't I? No, I'm done. She's all right. It's a nice soft bed, so she ain't got far to fall. So let's get her out. Let's get her off very gently. I just want to hold her somewhere where I know she's not going to break. These are die-cast metal, by the way, I will add that. So nowhere near the mirrors. Oh yes, just before I do unscrew it, I'll show you this in just a moment. What I just want to do, I just want to get this bus off. So you can see there are 2 screws. There's one in there, and there's one there, which is holding it on. So what I want to do is very, very carefully, and I can't stress enough how careful you need to be, is you need to undo these screws, and it loosens the bus from the plinth. Now I might be able to, yeah, get my nails now and try and unscrew that a bit more. It can be quite fiddly. Yeah, so that's starting to come away. So let's do the other one. Yeah, as you can see, the plinth's starting to move, but I'm not going to do what I did before and unscrew, start twisting the plinth around. Literally, I'm just going to loosen these screws and give it a little jiggle. Yeah, it's nearly off. Just a little bit more. Just going to undo these screws until, there you go, you saw that. Perfect. The bus has just popped off. Now, I want to try and save all these because Dean has asked me very nicely if he can keep the box and the certificate, and I've said yes. So what I want to do, I don't want to lose these little screws, so I'm just going to put the screws in the box. Hang on. They're not the screws. Where are the screws? Oh, the screws are still in the base. So I'll just show you quickly. There's all the two little screws that hold the bus into place. So there you are, Dean. I'll leave them in the box for you. And just before we have a look at the actual bus, I'll leave all the packaging in for him. Before we have a look at the bus itself, we'll just have a quick look at this, which is the certificate that you get with the buses. I'll try and salvage it the best I can. I don't really want to rip the packaging. It's sellotaped. There we go. There we go. Don't know what that is. Bear with me, folks. And just there we go. Just get that out. So the first thing is, I've seen this before. We saw this with the Optare Solo, I think. I think this may be the Corgi Classics, the Corgi Collectors Club, perhaps. You can sign up to that, and you probably get like regular news and updates on new releases and maybe special offers on selected products. I'm not sure, but you could always fill that. I'm not going to turn it round because it's got Corgi's address on it, so I'm not going to show that. And that's just a little cardboard thing that fell out. It's like Corgi, you know, Classics Great Britain. So we'll put all that in the box. And then this is the certificate. As you can see here, the original omnibus. And there's the certificate. So this is number 1840 of only 2,800 manufactured, I believe that says. I'll just have a little look with my trusty magnifying glass. This is to certify that this is a limited edition and is number 1840 of only 2,900 distributed worldwide. So there you go. And there's, don't know whether that's information about the Metrobus itself or about Corgi itself, but there's a little bit of information on there. So it's nice to keep the little certificate, isn't it, with the model. So we'll keep that. Dean has asked me if he can have this box back because he has got a Metrobus coming as well, but it hasn't got a box. So I promised him, I said, well, I'll save this box and you can have this one, because I may be buying one more bus off him. I've fallen in love with a Travel Coventry liveried, I think it's a Mercedes. Is it Mercedes-Benz? I think Bendy bus. So if I end up buying that, I will definitely unbox and review that for you. Now the question is, can I get this stuff back into here? Which the answer is no, I can't. So never mind. I'll leave. There we go, that clicks on. That clicks on, nice and secure. So yeah, just to, you are supposed to leave them in the cases, to be honest. And obviously, you know, it keeps the model nice and fresh. Now, let's have a look at the beautiful girl herself. Let's bring her in, shall we? So we'll start with the front, and here she is. Look at her. Just look at her. Isn't she beautiful? Oh, is that me dad in the driver's seat? So you got the registration there. Can't quite make that out. Travel West Midlands. This was a Saver bus. Now the Saver bus was actually brought out to, I believe it was to help people like such as school children or elderly people or the daily commuter. It was sort of like a saver fare, a cheap fare for selected routes. I know the 26 that my dad used to drive, that became a saver bus because obviously it used to serve not only the Bromford, but it used to serve it used to go through Ward End. Well, anyone who lives in Birmingham, UK, or near, if you live in Birmingham, you'll know where I'm on about. We used to go through Ward End and Allen Rock, through Saltley Gate, up through Duddeston and into the city centre. So obviously it was a good way for like the elderly to get to town, you know, from the Bromford. They could just jump on the bus and, you know, obviously it went past a few schools on the way. So I suppose that's why they never really understood what the Saver bus actually was, but it was implemented on a few routes. So this is the number 16. I can't remember where this goes to now. It says it there. I can't remember. Via Hockley, I think it goes. Well, there you go. So, which way are we going? This way. So, you've got the fleet number there on top of the bus. I don't think it'll be one that my dad drove because the 16 wasn't at Lee Hall. Because the first garage my dad ever worked at was Lee Hall. You got the little fleet number there. No wheel details, sadly. It would have been nice for them to have some like decorated hubcaps. They're just blacked out in this one. You got the indicator there. All of the windows. This is what I loved about these older buses. You could open every single window. I loved it. I wish more modern buses today were like that. Especially with the fact that during all this COVID, you've got to wear face masks on the bus. And sometimes with having that mask on, it can get very hot and uncomfortable on a bus. So, you know, sometimes you just want the window open. There's the emergency exit. Same with the top deck as well. Obviously, you can't open that window. But those windows can be opened. That one can't. The front two can't. I believe that those two at the front could be opened partially as well, I think. Don't quote me on that. Let's turn around. Have a look at the back. Now, obviously, the engine compartment doesn't open on this, but you can see there the little bit of silver. That would have been the handle to open the engine compartment. You've got the number plate there on the back. And the lights, yeah. And then we'll come into the passenger side now. So obviously the emergency exit's not on this side, it's on the other side. Again, all these windows can be opened. Quite more windows along this side because obviously the stairs are on the other side, which you can't quite see. They're not actually modelled. And these doors were quite spectacular as well. You've even got the livery applied to the doors. Now, I can't remember how these opened. I think they used to fold in. Like they'd open inwards, and then obviously the two smaller parts of the doors would actually fold in on themselves, which gave you quite an ample amount of room to get on. I remember there was like, I think 2-3 steps up. And then at the back of the bus, I don't think you can see inside there. It's a bit dark. No, you can sort of see it. There's like a bench seat at the back of the bus. You could actually sit side facing, and then you could sit obviously forward facing at the. But on these older buses, you couldn't really sit rear facing, and all the seats were forward facing. On these anyway. But something I didn't like about the Metro is, I don't know whether it was because I was a kid and obviously I was too short, or whether it was the fact that the seats were a bit too low. But whenever I sat downstairs on a Metro, I couldn't look out the window properly. I had to like kneel. I had to like sit on my knees, you know, in order to look out the window properly, because I couldn't see properly out the window. There you go, the number 16. I can't quite read that. I can't remember where this goes, where this went to. You got the fleet number there. I'm trying to zoom in on it so I can try and read it, and then it keeps vanishing because of the light. But yeah, it's a beautiful bus, really is. I'm so glad I've got another one, because Dean gave me one from his collection, and then but he said, like, I've had this for years and years. So in the end I said, well, I'll tell you what, you have that one back and I'll buy one off you. This was like a while ago now. Well, a couple of weeks ago. I got a Wright Eclipse single decker off him, and he took his Metro back, and he said, as soon as I get one in, you can have it. So I'm really glad I've got another one. So hopefully she'll be YouTube famous by the end of this evening. And I have actually got another bus to show you. I've got another bus to show you that I've bought for a friend. But he won't mind me unboxing it and showing it. So we shall do that next. So there we go. Let's just have a one last look at the bus. Yeah. I'll put her like that. Look, looks like she's on the road. Look, she's driving down a road. I won't push her. There she is. What an absolutely stunning bus. I just loved these buses. Not only the way they sounded, I can't describe the way that these buses sounded. They just had such a beautiful singing tone to the engines as they gathered speed and they changed gears. Really was a nice sound. I loved it. I loved sitting at the back of these because you could hear the engine. You were more or less sat on top of the engine, but you could hear the engine, and brilliant. And you had that unmistakable smell of the old fabric seats, and it's just bringing back so many memories. And me dad, well, as I mentioned, my dad used to drive them quite often. Not just on the 26s, I think he drove them on the 94s as well once or twice before we had the Dennis Tridents come in, and the Mercedes, the single-decker Mercedes. But yeah, I mean, these buses, I was always on them. I was always travelling on them. It was rather these or the Leyland Lynxes. But yeah, really, really nice bus, and I think I've got enough footage here for another video, and I can honestly say, in my personal opinion, that I think this has been another successful review. So, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've managed to stay with me till the end. Hope you enjoyed having a good look at the bus. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. It's always nice to hear from you viewers. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, or if you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you like things like this, because I do tend to do some of these videos, unboxing videos, different food reviews, drink reviews. So yeah, I do hope that you've enjoyed this one. And until the next video, take care, and I'll bid you farewell.